All right, everybody. Thank you and welcome for those of you joining us for this week's 4-Minute Friday. As you guys probably know by now, we take these as an opportunity to speak with some of our residents or attendings and kind of learn a little bit about the program and what makes Christ unique. Today, we're here with Oyin Okubanjo, one of our attendings. And I think I'll let you introduce yourself, actually.
My name is Oyin Okubanjo, but I go by Oyin, just the first 4 letters, and I'm an attendant here at Christ. Been so for 2 years-ish.
Something like that. And so before we start talking about Christ specific, we always like to do one fun question. And so for you, I'm gonna ask you, you obviously live downtown still. What's one of your favorite hidden gems in Chicago?
So a lot of people might not know this about Chicago, but Chicago has a really amazing, dope underground poetry scene. They actually started this poetry competition called Louder Than Bombs several years ago. And it's a competition that high school kids do slam poetry. And with this slam poetry, they presented, they win prizes, they win scholarships, they publish, it's pretty amazing. And on a summertime, you can actually go into a bar around the corner from where I live right now. And that's where they do the competition, which is amazing because you can watch these kids perform. And I used to be one of those kids. So it's amazing with some drinks.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can socially distance, but still do it this summer too.
I hope so.
So today we're going to talk a little bit about your interests. And so before I do that, let me just put you on the clock. As you know, you've got 4 minutes and I'll give you a warning when you're getting close and we'll start now. So tell us just a little bit about kind of your interests now that you're here as an attending.
So my biggest interests are simulation and all things diversity and inclusion. So I actually did a simulation fellowship for a year at Cook County when I graduated from this program. So I am a product of this program. Whoop, whoop, very proud of it. This program did a fantastic job in preparing me for a simulation fellowship. A lot of people worry that, when you come from a 3-year program, you can't get into a fellowship. That is a lie. You just have to have the right program for you. And this is the right program for you. It will groom you into something that you believe you want. When you see my CV, it speaks nothing other than academics. So I did a year-long hospital-based simulation program. And when I came back to Christ, I actually came back to work not only on STEM, but I came back to work on diversity and inclusion and how to marry those 2 things together. It's never really been done before in STEM, so I'm really excited because an ongoing project I can't talk too much about, but recently got IRB approved, and really excited to start a marriage of social emergency medicine with simulation and a new way to educate residents and how to be more socially aware and socially conscious. Things like implicit bias, things like just blatant racism and just knowing. And I think that right now, given the world that we live in, emergency medicine is ripe for this, as well as given every single thing that's going on in our world today, we can't ignore it. So we have to figure out how to teach it to our residents without saying, here, read this article and let's talk about this later. We have to get them involved. And the way to do so is with simulation. You do everything else with sim, you learn how to do procedures, you learn how to intubate, you learn how to run a case. Why can't you learn how to take care of a diverse population with simulation as well? It's been a challenge, but very, very, very awesome to write. And I've been writing it with one of the current seniors and so proud of the work we're doing. And obviously it's publishable. So another thing you get in a 3-year program is you can indeed be published if you work hard. And there's lots of projects that attendants are currently undertaking that you just have to get on board with. So that's a super big interest of myself. If I had a little bit more time, I'd talk about the diversity and inclusion committee that we just started at this hospital.
You got time, go ahead.
Okay, great, fantastic. All right, some more things. So we all talk diversity, we all talk inclusion, but you really need to make sure that the program that you're at not only verbally says that they support that, but they actually put their money where their mouth is. I will say as a resident, 3 years in a row, I went to the SNMA conference to recruit diverse residents. And not only did I go not by myself, I went with the program director, Dr. Elise Lovell, who, by the way, might I add, was my faculty mentor and continues to mentor me right now, even as an adult, in all things life and all things medicine. And I respect her tremendously. But to have an attending physician who says, I care about diversity and actually goes with you is amazing. Or to just have an attending that says, what's your interest and how can I make that happen? And then to graduate from this program and see that that's something that is consistent in our department with our department chairs, just putting my name up for things. I mean, just in the work that I did as a resident, from building a curriculum as a resident that I presented at many of the conferences on healthcare disparities in general, being able to hand off that curriculum to a current resident who will hand it off to somebody else. And that curriculum is now with the family medicine residents, the internal medicine residents, pediatric residents, to be able to have that huge of an impact as a resident, and then to come back as an attendant and to continue that impact on a more global level with the systems level is amazing. And to not only be able to continue that impact, but to also have financial support, because that's another thing that you will get here. You will get a lot of people who are interested in what you're interested in, but they'll also put the time into it. They'll mentor you appropriately, and then they'll also get you there. And if you need to be there because there's some money in it, then they'll get you there in general. So, I mean, it has just been amazing to be back and all the work that's being done here. And I'm just so proud to be an attendant where I was raised and where I was trained.
Thank you, Oyin. I'll finish up on that point, but when we go to post this, if it's okay with you, we'll include your Twitter handle and kind of contact information in case anybody wants to reach out and talk a little bit more.
Absolutely. My Twitter handle is hella political, so just be aware.
Thanks for your help. Go back to work.